Hello viewers, my name is Raza and today we will be learning about the basics of Excel. So in this class, the first thing that we'll be learning is is the is the ribbon. So if you start from this corner, like start from file and go all the way towards right and then come back to the file again, this thin rectangle is called ribbon, and this ribbon contains all of these tabs and the commands within those tabs. So let's start discussing about these tabs. So all like this ribbon contains these tabs like this: home, insert, draw, page layout, formula. These are all tabs, and each tab has groups like clipboard is a group, font is a group, alignment is a group, number is a group, styles is a group, cells is a group, editing is a group. The same way insert has all of these groups like tables, add-ins, charts, sparklines. All of these are groups in the insert tab. The same way draw has these groups, page layout has these groups. So we can see that all of these tabs has different groups and each group has different commands. So if you see here, clipboard has cut, copy, paste, format, painter commands, and in the font font group we have the bold, italics, underline, different type of font, size of the font, shading, or you can say the shading of the color, shading of the text, or change the color of the text. All of these are different groups within the font group. The same way it goes on. So what we learn here is like all the commands combine together to make the groups, and then all the groups combine together to make the tab, and all the tabs combine together to make the ribbon. So this is the first thing that we learned. The next thing we are learning here is actually the name box, which is here. So name box actually contains the address of your cell. So let's say if right now my cursor has selected the cell. So the cell has selected, actually if you can see here, it's already highlighted the G and 20. So this cell has the address of G20, and the same G20 is appearing in this name box. So wherever your cursor is, it will be shown in the name box. Like right now it's in L and 34, which is highlighted now. And so you can see here, it's L34 is the one that is selected, and the same is appearing in the address box, and in the name box or address box. And the next thing that we are covering here is the formula bar, which is here. The formula bar is actually showing what formula is applied on a specific cell. So let's say if we select this cell, any of these cells, so you can see that there's no formula applied. Instead there's only a fixed number that is mentioned in the cell. But if you select this one, you can see the formula is applied on this cell. So when you see a table, or when you see a Excel sheet or any spreadsheet, so once you click the cell, on the face of it you will not find what formula is applied. But if you see in the formula bar, you will always see what formula was applied in that specific cell. You can, if you want to see what formula is applied, you can double click it and then it will tell you. But but we don't want to spoil our data, so that's why we normally don't double click. We can just simply click the single, like we do the single click, and then we can see what formula was applied on that specific cell. There's one more thing. So what we have learned about the ribbon, the name box, and the formula bar. And the next topic we will be covering is rows, columns, and cells. So all of these columns, or you can say all of these numbers which are on the left side, are rows, and the top, all these top A, B, C, D alphabets are the columns. So this A is a column, this B is a column, this C is a column. In the same way, this 1 is a row, this 2 is a row, and then 3 is a row. So you can see our cells are combination of this rectangles created by merging of all of these rows and columns. So let's say if I click this one, this C and 2 merge, or you can say join together to complete one cell. Just in case if you ever forget that which one is rows and which one is column, you can always, it's not the real reason, but I just give you the idea to remember it. Let's say if you ever forget that which one is row, which one is column, you can simply think of the row is starts with R and number is R2. So you can just always remember that number on the left side are the rows, and of course the other thing will be the column. So if I want to add or remove like a column in this one, so I can just simply, let's say if I want a column after C, so I want a column after C, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll be going to a cell, or you can say I will go to the column which is after the C. So if I want to add one column after C, so it means I have to add a column after C. So I'll be selecting the D, and you can see the cursor style of the cursor when it looks like an arrow. You can just click it. It's left click. So once you left click, you will see that it has selected that column, and then you can just click right click and then just click insert. So always remember, if you want to insert a column, just need to see, let's say if I want to include a column or insert a column after E, so I will go to the next of E, left click, and then in this one, I'll be selecting the right click. I will be doing the right click and then clicking the insert button, and I'll get one column after E as well. The same way, if I want to remove the column, I can just simply I'll select the, let me show from here. I'll just left click here on the D, and then I'll be right clicking and then delete the column. One more time, if I want to delete this E column, I'll be just left click on this one so that this column is selected. Once it is selected, I'll be right clicking and then click the delete button, and this column will be deleted. So we learn how to like what are the rows, columns, and cells, and we also know how to add or delete the column. The same way, if I want to include one row after this number, so let's say if I want to add a row after 7, so I'll be selecting after 7, the same left click and then right click, and then I can include one column using the insert button. The same way, if I want to add one column after the ninth one, so I'll be selecting the one which is after the ninth column, ninth row, and then I'll be left clicking to make it selection, and then I'll be right clicking and then click insert. So once I click it, I'll be getting one extra row after the number 9. So we can keep doing it and then do the practice of this one. So let's delete this row. So the same process, entirely the same, the way we have done it for the columns. I'll be selecting this one first by clicking the left click and then right click, see the options, and then delete. Make sure that you, while deleting, don't delete your data. Otherwise, you will not be able to practice. So yeah, delete it. And then, or you will lose your, if you're working in a real company, you may lose your data. So that's how you can add or delete columns, or add or delete rows. And we have also discussed what are the columns, what are the rows, and what is cell. Next topic is merging and unmerging cells. So we have just learned how to create, how to insert or delete the rows or columns. Next topic comes here is merging or unmerging the cell. So that's very easy. You can just select the cells. Let's say you want to select the 4 rows and let's say 5 columns, then you can do that part. You can also do 2 columns only, or 2 rows only, 2 rows only or 2 columns only. So it based on your requirement, you can just select all of those cells that you want to merge, and then simply click on the top, the merge and center. That's it. And then this entire area is actually become one cell. So if you can see here, now they are just one cell. Sometimes why we need this merge cell, sometimes we want to give the headings or these type of things, then we are using the merge cells. Sometimes we have quite big data to cover in one cell, then we are doing it. So based on your requirement, whenever you want, you can always use the merge and center like a command line to work with it. So if you just don't want it, you can just simply go to the merge and center, and then there's an option of unmerged cell. If you click it, and then you'll get the your all the cells back. The other thing is, let's say if you have something like the sentence or the word bigger than the size of the column, what will happen? Sometimes you don't want to change the 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 table size because we have already adjusted it for our printing. So and we know that if we try to make it maximize or make it bigger than the actual size we have already selected, we may go out of our table from the landscape size paper. So what we do normally is we normally wrap the text. How we can do that? You can just select it, select the area, and then simply click the wrap text. So once you click it, it will just push the rest of the document which was hidden under the second cell into the next line. So you can see the entire word or entire lines or whatever was hidden under the next cell will be visible in the next line. So now we have done the wrap text and merge set. I don't want to increase it in a different way, like we can increase it in another way, but I don't want to increase the size of this like column by double clicking because it will create problem for my other things because the size of other things in this line is quite big. Then if I want to use the currency, how can I do that? I can just simply select the cell where I want to bring the currency. I can click the $sign or some currencies are ready here. I can just click any of these. I can use them. Sometime we don't have that currency available in this quick list. Then we can just simply click the right click here, go to the format cells, and then you will see we have currency like group here, and then we can just simply select what currency we want. So there are a lot of currencies available. Even the small. So you can see a lot of currencies are here. You can choose any of these. We have different styles of currencies as well. Like you can use the real like symbol, or you can just have the alphabetical way of representing the currencies. So yeah, you can choose any of these. So this is one more way of selecting your like currency here. Uh, Next thing, let's say if we want to increase the decimal value, sometimes when we are working with the currencies, we are using more than like, normally we are using the 4 decimal values in the currency, like when the people are working for the foreign exchange rate. So let's say if you want to increase the decimal value, you can just simply click the cell and then you can increase the decimal values. But let's say if you want to decrease the decimal value, you can also decrease it using the using this command. Just in case, if your like if all the numbers are like this, and if you want to make them, sometimes we have the numbers like this one. So this number is sometimes not legible. Like if it's, let me make it a bigger one, and then this number is not legible. Like I have to really work on it to understand this number. So what we can do, we can simply click this comma sign, and it will just split into the thousands. So it will, you can see the 3 zeros here, 3 zeros here. So now we can easily read it that it's 900,000 value. The same way, and it also converted into the 2 decimal place value as well. So just in case if you want to make it 2 decimal place, you can always click the comma here, and it will convert this value into the like 2 decimal place value. Okay, so now we have learned how to work with the currencies and the decimal values. The next thing is a scroll bar. We have a scroll bar here on the right side, which is like it's this table is very small, but let's say if you're working with a quite a big table, you can always scroll up and scroll down to view your entire table. The same way, if you cannot see the entire table, this table, you can always like scroll it sideways to see the entire of the table. So there are 2 scroll bars available. One is for the top bottom and the other one is sideways. So you can use the way you want. So scroll bar is another way. Then the next thing that we'll be covering, that we're covering here, is the zoom in, zoom out. So zoom in, zoom out means like if you have this size and you can work with this one. If you want to work with you don't want to change the font of your document, you want to keep it as it is. But let's say that the font is so small that you cannot read it. So what you can do, you can always use the downside here, zoom in, zoom out button here. So if you want to increase the size, you can always zoom in, and then you can see it become bigger. the benefit of it, like when you are using this button, it's not changing the size of your you can say the actual size of your uh, like table. It's only making the things bigger for your screen. So and if you want to make it smaller, you can always make it smaller in a way that you can see the entire table in one page. So all of these things are possible using the zoom in, zoom out option. uh, And the last topic we are covering for this one is actually the quick sizing toolbar and quick access toolbar. So what are these? On the right corner, you see this is minus, which is minimize. So once you click it, your screen is actually like your Excel sheet is not sharing your screen, but it is still running. So this is the minimize button. If you maximize it, like this is the maximize shape, where the screen is touching all the four corners and you are unable to change the size of it. So this is the maximize option. So minimize is when it's running, but it's not sharing the screen size. Uh, and the maximize when the screen is taking the entire of your screen, like your Excel sheet has taken the entire of your screen and you cannot make it smaller or bigger. And the third one is the close button. If you click it, then it will be closed for, and then even it is not like not only not sharing your screen, but also it will be closed. Like you can, if you want to access to this sheet again, you have to open the sheet directly, like either using the open button or something from or from it from your desktop. So the, on this one we can see the three options available. This one is minimize, this one is close, and its status is maximize. Let's say if you want to work with two sheets or more than two applications, like one is Excel and the other one is any other application, you can always use that part clicking this one. This is the restore phase. So restore phase allow you to make the screen bigger, smaller, adjust the size. You can also work with multiple screens. So restore is the phase wherein you can actually work with more than one screen. So even we have three buttons here, like minimize, maximize, and close. But actually there are four buttons in here. The maximize and restore button are taking each other's place. So technically we are working with four buttons. One is minimize, one is close, one is maximize, and the last one is the restore button. Restore button is the only one where you can make the screen size bigger or smaller. So these are four different commands to make sure that you can like work with different size of screen. And because it's about sharing your screen, that's why or sharing the size of the screen, like sometimes not sharing, sometimes partially sharing, sometimes the screen is totally used by this like application. So that's why this is called quick sizing toolbar. There another way is another tool we have is the ribbon display. So if you want to hide your ribbon, we have this option here, auto hide button, and then you can see the ribbon is totally hidden. If you want to make it on, if you want to show only the tabs, you click show tabs, and then you can only see the tabs here. And then if you want to see the tabs and commands, everything, then you can just click this. You can choose the last one. Always remember this is only available in the newer version. In the older version, this like ribbon display options was available, but it's not like this one. It's only a small arrow sign here in the downside, and that you can use to see all of these options. Then comes the quick access toolbar. So every engineer, every person, every worker has some tools to do their job. The same way when we are working with the documents or spreadsheets, we have to use some tools. So those tools are these all the commands, like either they are here or they're in the insert tab or in the draw or page layout or formula. So these are all different commands are the tools for the person who is using like the Excel. The only thing is, like sometimes we are using some of the tools quite often. So if we have to search for these tools again and again, that will actually kill our time. So in order to save our time, what we can do, we can always bring some of the tools which we are using frequently on the top of the screen, so that we don't have to search for these in different tabs. Always remember that it's advisable to only select the tools which you are using quite often, not all the tools, because if you put a lot of tools on the top of the screen, like in the quick access toolbar, then what will happen? Uh, Instead of searching in different tabs, you will be searching your tools within this access toolbar. So that's why it is highly recommended that bring this quick access toolbar as small as possible so that you don't have to search for your required tools when it is required. So let's learn how to create the how to add the tools in the quick access toolbar. Simply click this arrow. Once you click it, you have the option of more commands, and then in the more commands you can see that some popular commands is already here. And then if you want to add anyone, let's say if I want to select create chart, I can select it and then click add. Now you see it's added here. The only thing is, you see it's not moved from this place, so it means it has not moved from the actual place, but it also available in some other place as well, like in the quick access toolbar. So you will have it in its place, and then you have it in the quick access toolbar, so you will not be losing any tool from the main toolbars. The same, if I want to add some copy command, I can select it and then click add. So now you see copy is here and copy here too. So it means I added two commands in the quick access toolbar. They are still in their actual place, but I have it available in my quick access toolbar as well. So what we can do, we can just click OK. And then you see these toolbars are available for me in this quick access toolbar. Just in case, if I don't want to use it anymore, let's say my job is done, or let's say if I am not using these tools anymore, I can always go there and then select more commands. And then I can select it first and then remove. So removing it from here does not mean that we are deleting any of the commands. Actually, we are only removing it from the quick access toolbars. The same way copy, just click remove and then click OK. So now you see it is not reduced back to the same position like we had before. So that's how you can add the commands, add the commands, you can say add the tools to your quick access toolbar, or you can remove them from your quick access toolbar. So this is what we need to cover for in today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. Uh, Please share this with your other friends and colleagues so that they will learn it too. Thank you. Have a good day.